good morning. Today's video is for everyone who has recently graduated from their bachelor's or master's degree course and they are going to join a new company at a new place. Let us see what are the things that you need to keep in mind while you join office for the first time. First of all, congratulations on the fresh start that you are going to have. There might be multiple feelings that you would have at this time, but most prominently would be the feeling of proud. Yes, you made it. You got selected in a company which is good, reputable, and you can very well post it in your friend circles, your relationships that yes, you have got selected into this company and you feel proud. The other feeling is that you feel excited about how the new company would be, how the new world would be, how the new city would be, how would be the new work, how many friends you would get. You might be excited for the new salary that you would be getting and how you would be spending your own earned money. It's so exciting. Other than these, there would also be feelings of anxiousness. What if something goes bad? What if I am not able to present myself well? What if, what if, what if? There are so many what ifs which can come to your mind based on the background that you have or the background that you come from. And you would be conscious as well that how do I need to take care of certain things? How are others doing it? What are the best practices? How should I take care of these things? And so on. Well, in any case and in all cases, this is the new chapter in your life. So, in this video, let us see how to build a strong foundation. You might have read at various places the importance of first 100 days. Even if it is a new birth, new relationship, new job, someone taking up new office like a prime minister or president of a country, first 100 days are often highlighted very much. So, what are the things which you would be doing in your first 100 days? First and foremost is you would settle in your new role, in your new company, at the new place of residence, settle in with the new friends. Then you'll get clarity on your role. And I have mentioned specifically ever evolving responsibilities. Why ever evolving? Because when you join the company, you would be considered as a fresh new person in the team. Your other team members who are tenured in your team, they don't know you. They don't know you personally, professionally, your attitude, and how you take up things. So they'll not give you responsibilities just like that without knowing that what you are capable of. So they would eventually gradually increase your responsibilities in your new office. And your first 100 days would be focused on getting the clarity on what are the responsibilities that you are getting and are they aligned with the role at which you are hired. One of the most important thing is building relationships. You know what? As you are excited, similarly, people in your office are also excited to receive you. They would be equally excited to know you, to see that how the new person who is coming into the team is and how can they maintain or develop new friendships, new relationships. So you would be making many new friends in your first 100 days, which would be very prominent and help you in setting up the rest of your career and rest of your journey. In first 100 days, you observe and learn. Now keep this in mind that I have not written ask questions and learn. I have mentioned observe and learn. Why? Because in a busy office environment, when everyone knows their tasks and their responsibilities and their deliverables at hand, usually they are busy in taking care of their own work at their own pace, in their own style. So If you ask questions and probe them on each and every step, they might not take it very positively and they might think that you come up as a disturbance or a disturbing factor to them. That is the reason I encourage you to observe. Observe with your eyes open, with your ears alert, and observe that how things work in your office and learn those things. Don't shy away from keeping a diary or keeping a notebook with you and noting down things after every few minutes, after every few hours, or at least after end of the day. Because this is what will set your foundation solid and help you grow later in life and build relationships with your colleagues later in your career. And the most important thing is to win trust. The 4 points which are mentioned above about settling in, getting clarity on roles and responsibilities, building relationships, learning, all of them would take you to only one and one objective, which is to win trust. Win trust of your manager, win trust of your team member, win trust of your colleagues, of your extended teams, even win trust of the staff who is taking care of small, small things in your office. Why is this important? Because this trust is what will help others give you more work, develop positive relationship, and more importantly, support you and encourage you at the time when you need them the most. But taking care of all these things does not start only after you get into office. They start before day one. So when you get selected, first thing, or if not first thing, at least before joining, what you need to do is thank your recruiter on LinkedIn. Notice that who interviewed you, who all were in the interview panel. If possible, remember their name, find them on LinkedIn, and thank them. Thank them for visiting your college. Thank them for taking your interview and selecting you for the role. This does not only make them feel good, but lays a strong foundation stone in building a healthy relationship with the person who you interacted with for the first time in this new company. The next thing that you need to do is announce with excitement and joy and happiness that yes, you have got a role in this new company and share it with the world through your LinkedIn profile. Send connection requests to the people in the company at various roles. You might not want to send a connection request to CEO right away, but you might definitely want to check that who all are the people of different backgrounds and different experience level in your company. For example, you would be able to segregate between entry level person, some tenured person, a senior person, and a manager level person by looking at their profile and send them connection requests so that once you join with them, you would be able to interact with them and ask more questions, which brings me to the next point of getting the basics right. What are the date and time of joining? What is the mode of transportation? How would you go? Will company give a cab? Or you would be getting some other mode of transportation of your own? What would be the arrangements of lodging and food? Where would you stay? How far that place would be from your office? What would you eat? What are your food choices? Home cooked meal? Or are you okay with the restaurant? Or you would be getting your food within the company itself? Very important. What are the acceptable dress codes? Does people wear formals? Do they wear jeans t-shirt? Or what kind of clothes do they wear? What kinds of clothes are acceptable in the culture where you are going to enter? And what are the documents that you need to carry? I've had these examples during my time of joining where other colleagues who were joining in the same company, they did not carry some basic ID proofs like Aadhaar card or ID card or driving license or things like that. which were required by the company to onboard them. So get clarity from your hiring manager or HR person who recruited you and ask them that what are the things that you need to carry at the date and time of joining. And lastly, what you can do is follow the company on LinkedIn. Google some news about the company. What are the recent publishings that the company has posted on internet so that you would know the company better and you would get some points to talk about when you get into your new company and talk to people who are there inside the company since long. Now, considering that you would have taken care of these things before day one, what are the things that you need to do on first few weeks? Well, firstly, you need to build an impression. But what kind of impression? Well, that impression is not something of heroic in nature or giving an impression that, oh, this person has come into an organization and now he or she would solve all of our problems. No, that's not the impression that I'm talking about. Well, the impression is being punctual. Come on time, always on time. Set a time for your lunch and breaks so that other people, by observing you, would understand that yes, this person is punctual and this can be trusted upon with reference to time. Next is willingness to learn. Don't only go and linger around and talk about any random things. Yes, you would need to do that for building relationships and knowing people well. But anytime you interact with any system or process, show a willingness to learn. Even if you don't ask any questions right away, at least be interested in looking and observing what the other person is doing on the system. What processes are they following? What is the workflow and how the work is done in that particular role? And build an impression of positive attitude. Now, where are the things where you can show positive attitude? Well, there might be multiple challenges that you may face while joining the office, while coming to office on a particular day. For example, when you are going to office, there might be rain and you might get drenched. How do you carry yourself at those moments when you are not keeping well or when you are not showing up well? Are you showing positive attitude or are you showing that, oh, you are in such a big mess or you need so much help or you are so much deprived of, let's suppose, food or shelter or uncertainties in your life? How do you want to show yourself to the people in your team? That is what would show positive attitude in you. In first few weeks, meet and greet as many people as possible. Ask their names. What role do they do? What are their working hours? When are they comfortable talking to you more about their role? Be curious and be interested in knowing the other person. That is how you will make them feel important, you will make them feel liked, and you'll make a strong foundation of a new relationship. I've mentioned here points like being curious, reciprocate openness, consider colleagues of all levels, not only managers, not only your peers, not only the junior level people, but also the staff, the liftman, the sweeper, the guard, the driver of your cab, everyone. At least ask their name and how do they feel at that particular moment and be interested in listening to them. One important thing that I want to highlight here is to reciprocate. Now, what does reciprocate means? Reciprocate means talking in a language in which the other person is talking. So, if the other person is smiling, smile. If the other person is not smiling, don't smile. If the other person is speaking in Hindi, you also speak in Hindi. And if the other person is speaking in English, you also speak in English. What message you would give by doing this is that how similar you are to the other person. And these are the non-verbal cues which directly hit at the subconscious level of the other person, and they start believing that yes, you are similar to them, and you are someone they can reach out to, or they would be willing to support at the time of need. Next is to focus on understanding. Understand everything that you can about the work, the process, and the team. Observe the process. How are things happening in your team? How are papers moving from one table to another? How are the team utilizing Microsoft tools, Outlook, PowerPoint, Excel? What is the way for everyone to present? Do they present on Excel only, or do they just walk up to the other person and talk about the thing? Or do they set up a formal meeting and invite everyone and then present? What are the different categories of communication which happens in your team? And just observe and note it down in your diary so that you would understand that for which type of work do you need to use which mode of communication. Next is, what are the workflows? How does work flow in your process? Sometimes there might be work which has 1 day of timeline. There might be other things which might take 3 days to complete. Other things might take 1 week. Some of those things might take 1 month. Observe that how is the work progressing from initial stage to the final stage in all of these timelines. And finally, what are the hierarchy structures? How are people reporting to their managers? What is the reporting hierarchy all the way up to the CEO? How many teams are there under the CEO? And how many teams are within those teams? And how many teams are within those teams? Which team are you part of? And where is your role in the larger picture of your organization? I know there are so many things that you might be thinking about. I just tried to give you some sense and some guidance on how you should be taking up your first few weeks while you join your new company. Well, this is a beginning of a new life where you would get more autonomy, more independence, and more choices to fulfill your dreams and career aspirations. For all those good things, I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching.